Good evening and welcome. This is the India Today Newstrack. I'm Rahul Kanwal. What's the craziest thing people can do in the middle of a global pandemic? To my mind, it's beating up doctors. And that's exactly what's happening in many locations across the country. Corona warriors under fire is my top focus on the Newstrack tonight.
Merciless mob attacked doctors. Chased, pelted with stones, they save you. This is what they get in return. Attacked for who will save our Corona warriors?
हम लोग ने जैसे ही पूछना शुरू किया पत्थर फेंकना शुरू कर दिए दोनों.
On the top of our show tonight, I want to show you the big picture in India's fight against the coronavirus. This is the Corona India dashboard powered by the India Today Data Intelligence Unit. I'll start straight up with the India numbers. At this moment, there are 2,341 confirmed cases. 177 of those patients have recovered. There have unfortunately been 68 deaths. Across the world, we're now touching 1 million. 9,56,000 confirmed cases, 2 lakh recoveries, 48,000 deaths. That's the overall picture. I want to take a look at the state-wise data for India. Maharashtra leading the pack still at 416 confirmed cases. The interesting thing that's happened though is that Tamil Nadu has now jumped into number 2 position. Kerala was in number 2 so far, but because of a lot of the cases from the Tablighi Jamaat, Tamil Nadu is now at number 2 with 309 confirmed cases. It's now on a 2-day curve, which means in Tamil Nadu, the number of Corona-19 cases is doubling every 2 days. Kerala comes in at number 3 with 286 confirmed cases, 25 recoveries and 2 deaths. On the show tonight, we're going to be packing this 1 hour with a lot of solid content. I'll be joined by Maulana Mahmood Madni. He runs the Darul Uloom Deoband, which is South Asia's most powerful, most influential Islamic seminary, at a time when there's a lot of pushback against the Tablighi Jamaat. What does one of the most renowned Islamic scholars have to say about the behavior of the leaders of the Tablighi Jamaat? Maulana Saad, remember, is still in hiding. He's not coming out any moment yet. He put out a video. I'll tell you about that and a lot more, but let's get started. Here are young doctors, old doctors putting their lives at risk, quite literally battling the coronavirus. What happened in Indore in Madhya Pradesh is beyond shocking. A group of doctors were going house to house trying to identify those who may have been impacted by coronavirus. How did the crowd respond? Those are the doctors in their protective gear. They are being chased. They are being chased through the colony. They are being pelted with stones. Now, this is absolutely absurd. These are literally the only people who can save our lives if we get infected with coronavirus. How do people in Indore respond? They start beating up their doctors. Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan has struck a very stern warning, saying that human rights are only for humans. He's warning these people. One of those doctors who's in that video will be joining me on the Newstrack tonight. But before that, I want to take you through what happened in these images that have shocked and stunned the entire country.
Your eyes are not deceiving you. This is indeed a video of a mob chasing and pelting stones at healthcare workers. This terrifying scene played out on Wednesday in Madhya Pradesh's Indore. Watch closely how the healthcare workers, dressed in their hazmat suits, walked through Indore's Tat Patti Bakhal area, a COVID-19 hotspot where over 50 families are already under quarantine. They were simply trying to trace a person who had come in contact with a COVID-19 patient earlier, simply doing their job. But as you can see, things quickly spiral out of control. Now, watch what happens next. Enraged locals are seen furiously pick up rocks and chase the hapless healthcare workers away. Two women doctors were injured in this frightening attack. The police had to rush in to rescue 5 healthcare workers in total from the mob.
तो उन्होंने आए, हम लोग ने जैसे ही पूछना शुरू किया, पत्थर फेंकना शुरू कर दिए जोर से। वो अच्छा हुआ और पूरी फोर्स भी थी, सो दैट्स व्हाई हम लोग बच के आ गए, अदरवाइज मतलब कोई बात बच नहीं सकते। पत्थरबाजी करना। कुल कितने लोग थे भीड़ में, जो महिला पुरुष दोनों थे कि देख नहीं पाए, हम बहुत डर गए थे। पत्थर हमारे पैर पे जोर जोर से पड़ना शुरू हो गए, तो हम कार में अचानक सर लेके हमको निकल गए।
Look at the intensity of the stone pelting. Imagine if even one of these high-velocity rocks had hit a healthcare worker in the head. The police has arrested 4 people so far.
उस मामले में चिकित्सा दल के साथ उसमें 2 पुलिस कर्मी भी थे, गए थे। तो अचानक एक जगह इस तरह की घटना घटी, जिसको पुलिस ने काफ़ी गंभीरता से लिया। तत्काल उसमें प्रकरण पंजीबद्ध करके जो उसके मुख्य आरोपी, उसमें जो 4 लोग थे जिनका इस घटना के पीछे मुख्य रोल था, उन 4 लोगों को पुलिस ने गिरफ्तार भी कर लिया है। इसमें कुछ अन्य लोगों को भी वीडियो फुटेज के माध्यम से पहचान की जा रही है और उनके विरुद्ध भी कार्रवाई की जाएगी।
But there are many more than 4 villains captured in this video. So will the police continue its crackdown until every last one of these stone pelters is behind bars?
एक दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण घटना इंदौर में हुई है। उस घटना में शामिल अराजक तत्वों को किसी भी कीमत पर नहीं छोड़ा जाएगा। उनके खिलाफ सख्त कार्रवाई हो रही है।
Healthcare workers and police are on edge in Indore, and the incident has ensured that tempers stay at fever pitch. India's cleanest city is already a hotspot for COVID-19, with about 80% of Madhya Pradesh's cases from this city alone. With Ravish in Indore, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, when I saw those images, the first question that came to my mind is, why would anyone start beating up doctors? So what was happening in that locality which led to these doctors being chased and attacked? Let me take you through some of the WhatsApp rumors that were doing the rounds and then tell you what the facts really are. The first forward was that testing is the first step towards arrest. Now, that's patently absurd. Testing has nothing to do with being arrested. If someone's arrested, so something like what the Tablighi Jamaat did, just because you have coronavirus, you don't get arrested. But that's the kind of misinformation that was doing the rounds. That's not all. There's more. There was a WhatsApp forward saying coronavirus is a jihadi conspiracy. That charged up people in this minority-dominated community, and they were very irritated with it. The fact is that what happened with the Tablighi Jamaat is being used in a way to weaponize this whole action against those who were responsible, and therefore that's leading to a bit of a communal divide and a build-up, and that's quite unfortunate. The third trigger for this kind of a violence is the rumor that there would be an indefinite quarantine, that it's not in mid-April that the quarantine would end, this would be extended, the lockdown would be extended indefinitely. Now that's patently absurd as well. There are standard quarantine protocols which are uniform. The Prime Minister spoke about what will happen post the 15th of April. I'll tell you about that a little later in the show. But there is no intention of extending the quarantine as far as the government is concerned. Then there were rumors about the healthcare workers targeting members of the Muslim community, and that created some stir as well. That's not true either. They were going home to home, trying to find out about the health of every single person of every community, which had nothing to do with Hindus or with Muslims. So really, really unfortunate. Now, one of the doctors who was in this procession, going from house to house, trying to find out how everyone is doing, is Dr. Zakia Saeed. She now joins me on this broadcast from Indore. Dr. Saeed, I'm deeply disturbed, hugely apologetic that you were doing your job and you got attacked in the manner in which you did. No medic, no doctor deserves to have to go through something like this. So on behalf of everyone, I'm really, really sorry that this happened. I want to start by asking you, जब आप जा रही थी इंदौर की इस कॉलोनी में, उस वक्त क्या हुआ? लोग जानना चाहते हैं कि क्या हुआ कि एकाएक ये भीड़ पागलपन पर उतर आई, आप पर इन्होंने अटैक कर दिया, पत्थर आप पे फेंक दिया, आपको चेज करने लगे. क्या हुआ वहां पर इस वक्त? जाकिया, वेलकम.
सर, एक्चुअल में हम लोग उस फील्ड में 5 दिन से काम कर रहे हैं. जैसे ही हम लोग को पता चला था कि वहाँ पर एक हमीद करके थे 65 इयर्स, उनकी डेथ हुई थी और वो कोरोना पॉजिटिव थे। तो डे 1 से हम लोग वहीं पर काम कर रहे थे, वहीं स्क्रीनिंग कर रहे थे। मेरे साथ मेरी साथी भी थी, डॉक्टर तृप्ति काटदरे। मैं और वो काफ़ी दिनों से वहाँ काम कर रहे थे। स्क्रीनिंग भी हम लोग कर रहे थे। स्क्रीनिंग में काफ़ी लोगों ने हमको रिस्पांस भी दिया। 4-5 दिन तक तो सब पॉजिटिवली रहा। पर कल जब हम गए थे, हमें एक मिला था कि एक पर्सन है जो ऑटो ड्राइवर था, मैं नाम लेना तो नहीं चाहूँगी यहाँ पर। उसको हम लोग को कॉन्टेक्ट सर्वे के लिए भेजा गया था वहाँ पर, तो वो तो अवेलेबल नहीं थे। उनकी मदर थी, उनसे हम लोग की बात हुई, स्क्रीनिंग हुई, मोबाइल नंबर हमने मांगा। 2-5 मिनट बाद अचानक से काफ़ी भीड़, लगभग मेरे ख्याल से 100-200 लोग कुछ होंगे, जो चीखते चिल्लाते हुए हमारी तरफ भागे कि इनको मारो, इनको पकड़ो, और बहुत गंदे अब्यूजिव वर्ड्स उन लोग ने हम लोग के लिए यूज़ किए। जैसे तैसे हम लोग वहाँ से अपने आप को निकाल कर थ्रू तहसीलदार साहब जो हमारे साथ थे, CS हुड्डा, उनकी गाड़ी में हम लोग वहाँ से निकले। एग्जैक्ट वहाँ क्या हुआ, क्यों लोग इतना भड़के, उसके लिए अभी हम लोग भी कुछ भी इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं दे सकते। जबकि हमारा डिपार्टमेंट जो है, मैं, मेरे दूसरे साथी इंदौर के हर इलाके में बहुत मेहनत कर रहे हैं। मतलब 24 घंटे हमारे CMHO सर की टीम, हम लोग सभी काम कर रहे हैं।
वाकई में डॉक्टर्स इतनी मेहनत कर रहे हैं, उस बीच में अटैक हो जाए। एंड माय बिगेस्ट कंसर्न डॉक्टर सईद इज अबाउट द इम्पैक्ट दिस वुड हैव ऑन द मोरल ऑफ डॉक्टर्स। मेरे को चिंता ये है कि कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं कि बाकी लोग जो आपको देख रहे हैं, जो कि मेडिकल प्रोफेशन से आते हैं, उन्हें लगे अगर जाकिया के साथ ये हो रहा है तो क्या फ़ायदा काम करने का, हम क्यों जाएं घर घर, हम क्यों ये रिस्क ले अगर लोग हम ही पे अटैक करेंगे। क्या इसका आपके मोरल पे कुछ इम्पैक्ट पड़ा है? क्या आप आगे चल के भी अपना ये काम करेंगी? क्या आप स्कार्ड हैं कि नहीं, जो हुआ ठीक नहीं, अब मैं नहीं काम करूंगी? आपका अभी भी हौसला है कि जंग लड़ने के लिए आप तैयार हैं जाकिया?
नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं। देखिए, अगर ऐसा होता तो डे 1 से कोई भी डॉक्टर फ्रंट लाइन में आके काम नहीं करता, है ना। कोई भी डॉक्टर अपने कर्तव्य से पीछे हटना पसंद नहीं करेगा। जो इंसिडेंट हमारे साथ हुआ है, बेशक वो गलत है, वो किसी और के साथ होता तो भी गलत होता। लेकिन एक मैसेज मैं कम्युनिटी को देना चाहती हूँ कि इस इंसिडेंट से कम्युनिटी ये ना समझे कि डॉक्टर डर जाएंगे, घबरा जाएंगे, पीछे हट जाएंगे। डॉक्टर आज भी उसी तरह से पूरे 100% से अपने एफर्ट्स दे रहे हैं। हम लोग आज भी ड्यूटी पे हैं, हम लोग इसी तरह काम करते रहेंगे और डेफिनेटली कोरोना को हराएंगे।
That's amazing, you know. Just look at the spirit of this young girl. She says, regardless of this attack, she will keep up the fight against the coronavirus. That really is something that needs to be saluted. Zakia Saeed, हम देख रहे हैं कि बहुत सारी फेक न्यूज़, बहुत मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन, बहुत तरह के रूमर्स फ्लोट कर रहे हैं और इससे भी लोग बहुत गुस्सा हो रहे हैं। आपके हिसाब से कि लोग ठंडे दिमाग से फैक्ट्स और फिक्शन में फ़र्क करते हुए डॉक्टर्स के साथ कोऑपरेट करें, इसको कैसे इंश्योर किया जाए? क्या आइडियाज़ हैं आपके, क्या सजेशंस हैं जाकिया?
देखिए, इसके लिए सबसे बड़ा बेस्ट तरीका ये है कि जो उस कम्युनिटी के बिलोंगिंग लोग हैं, जिन पर वहाँ के लोगों को फेथ है, उन लोग को फ्रंट लाइन में आना चाहिए और सिस्टम को सपोर्ट करना चाहिए। क्योंकि वहाँ के लोग उन्हीं से डायरेक्ट सपोर्ट में हैं। हम तो वहाँ भेजे गए हैं, हम लोग उनको इतना पर्सनली इंटरेक्ट नहीं कर सकते, हम लोग अपनी ड्यूटी निभा रहे हैं। लेकिन वहाँ के जो लोग हैं, लोकल जो लोग उनको जानते हैं, उन लोग को इस समय आना चाहिए, शासन प्रशासन की मदद करनी चाहिए और जो एक मिथ चल रहा है कम्युनिटी में, उसको ख़त्म करने की कोशिश करना चाहिए।
You know, I just love the maturity of all your responses. Finally, Zakia, how are you doing? How are your spirits? How's your morale? How are your family members? They would, of course, be hugely concerned about you. What are you telling them and what are they telling you?
All are good. Even my husband motivated me a lot for this. He told me that I am proud of you. You are my wife and you are working for the community.
You know, this is fantastic. Just such a delight to have had you on the show. Zakia Saeed, Dr. Zakia Saeed, a young woman with a lot of steel. She's gone through a harrowing experience and she comes in the Newstrack and she says, don't worry about what happened to me. It's the fight against the coronavirus that is bigger and more important. Truly phenomenal, her spirit. It's not just in Indore that corona warriors are being attacked. This happened in multiple locations across the country. Now, resident doctors are writing to the Home Ministry, they're writing to their bosses saying, please keep us safe, because unless we are safe, we simply cannot do our job. Take a look at other locations where doctors came under attack.
The video that has stunned India beyond measure. Depicting the very worst corona villains in India's lockdown. Healthcare workers abused, chased, pelted with stones and injured. India still coming to terms with the horror of what you're looking at here. Disturbingly, the attack in Indore wasn't a one-off, with reports coming in from several places of healthcare workers being assaulted. In Hyderabad, relatives of a COVID-19 patient who had died attacked doctors inside the isolation ward established on the 8th floor of a medical college hospital. Shockingly, the attacker himself is COVID-19 positive and turned his anger at the resident doctor. In Bengaluru, health department workers came under assault by locals in the Sadikpalya area when they went there to survey symptoms in the locality. Just a stone's throw from the Manyata Tech Park, one of the workers breaks down while telling the harrowing tale of how she and her colleagues were gheraud and heckled by residents.
ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಯಲಹಂಕ ಟೀಮ್ ಇದ್ರು ಬ್ಯಾಚುಲರು ಅವರುಗಳಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಅವರು ಸರ್ವೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಅವ್ರನ್ನೂ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸರೇಪಳದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಾದಿಕ್ ಲೇಔಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನೂ ಇವತ್ತು ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಮಗೆ ದೌರ್ಜನ್ಯ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು. ಆ ಮಸೀದಿಲಿ ಅನೌನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ಮಸೀದಿಲಿ ಯಾರು ಅನೌನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅವರನ್ನ ಬಿಡಬಾರ್ದು, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ. ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನೇ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು.
The mosque made an announcement instigating the residents of Sadiq Nagar to surround those health workers, and physically they were manhandled by the mob on instruction by the mosque announcement.
In Telangana's Nizamabad, where there has already been 1 death and 4 positive cases, healthcare workers faced stiff opposition as they went door to door trying to identify cases with symptoms in the aftermath of the Tablighi Jamaat spread. And in Bihar's Munger, another horrifying attack on both healthcare workers as well as the police by residents of the Qasim Bazar area. The death of a young girl had prompted healthcare workers to check on the rest of the family. When they arrived there for customary COVID-19 checks, these are the scenes that played out. With citizens on edge, stigma fanning fires, and WhatsApp rumors amplifying ignorance, can India stomach such attacks on the people truly fronting our fight against the virus? With healthcare workers risking their every hour to fight the contagion, can a single such attack be allowed to become the norm? With Nolan Pinto in Bengaluru, Bureau Report, India Today.
With folded hands, all of us can just say, don't be crazy, don't attack doctors. These are frontline warriors and we desperately need to keep their morale high. Here's a quick look at the other headlines in India's battle against the coronavirus. Prime Minister Modi will address the nation at 9 a.m. tomorrow. This will be his third address to 1.3 billion Indians since the outbreak of COVID-19. It's a recorded message that he says will be put out on social media tomorrow morning. The Confederation of All India Traders has written to Prime Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, asking her to release funds for industries as soon as possible. The CAIT claimed that the relief provided by the government is not enough. The DRDO has developed indigenous N99 masks and a full body suit for the PPE in its Delhi and Agra centers. DRDO will manufacture 10,000 PPE kits every day to meet the new demand. All employees of Chennai's Phoenix Mall lifestyle store have been quarantined after 3 workers tested positive. All those who visited the outlet between the 10th and the 17th have been asked to seek immediate medical counsel. The National Commission for Women claims domestic violence cases have shot up since the lockdown was announced on the 24th of March. 58 complaints were received between the 24th and 30th of March. Prime Minister Narendra Modi met with chief ministers on video conferencing today. Preparing India for re-entry post the lockdown was the key thrust of the Prime Minister's meeting. He focused on how states shouldn't try and announce their own grand schemes, should ensure that they take COVID-19 very seriously. States had their own suggestions. Rahul Srivastav now takes you through what happened in this meeting between the Prime Minister and Chief Ministers of different states.
In his third direct connect with 1.3 billion Indians, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will release a video message on Friday. He is expected to make an appeal for more vigorous public response to the lockdown and spell out the spiraling COVID-19 threat. In his video conference with the chief ministers and officials, the Prime Minister is said to have asked the chief ministers for suggestions on steps to be taken after the 21-day lockdown ends. The government decided to walk the consensus route after Congress interim president echoed what many chief ministers have said in the last few days.
लॉकडाउन जरूरी हो सकता है, लेकिन जिस तरह से लागू किया गया वो भी केवल कुछ घंटों के सूचना पर उसने आम जनता को भारी दिक्कतें पैदा कर दी.
Raising question on this life-saving initiative which the people of India have accepted willingly and which was announced with due consultation of experts and doctors by a party like Congress, which has ruled the country for more than 50 years, is not only regrettable but also painful.
The suspense over the lockdown, however, has deepened. The picture has been further muddied by this tweet by the Arunachal Chief Minister, which he deleted later. Some chief ministers said that the Prime Minister provided subtle hints on the lockdown period. They say that the Prime Minister mentioned, once the lockdown is over on the 15th of April, states should take care that people do not crowd places. Sources say that the centre does not want to risk going alone on exiting the lockdown due to the rising number of cases. The Union Health Secretary briefed the Chief Ministers on the Tablighi Jamaat congregation that has become the biggest COVID-19 cluster. The Prime Minister appealed to the state Chief Ministers to engage heads of various communities and groups to ensure that there is no repeat.
सभी संप्रदायों के धर्मगुरुओं उनकी मीटिंग बुलाकर उनसे आग्रह करें कि वो अपने अपने अनुयायियों को, अपने मतपथ के लोगों को, अपनी विचारधारा के लोगों को इस लड़ाई में भागीदार बनने के लिए, सहयोग करने के लिए समझाएं, उसका नेतृत्व करें.
The centre and the states have struck a working relationship in the battle against the coronavirus. The task for the centre and the state governments is to save people, provide for their immediate needs and keep their future secure. That will need a united, cohesive strategy which is still to come. With Rahul Srivastav in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
India Today's Ankit Kumar got an opportunity to ask the top brass of the World Health Organization about what the WHO thought of India's lockdown week number 1. This is what the WHO brass had to say.
I have called on governments to put in place social welfare measures to ensure vulnerable people have food and other life essentials during this crisis. In India, for example, Prime Minister Modi has announced a $24 billion package, including free food rations for 800 million disadvantaged people, cash transfers to 204 million poor women, and free cooking of gas for 80 million households for the next 3 months.
My name is Ankit Kumar. I represent India Today.
Yes, Ankit, please go ahead.
My question is the World Health Organization been tracking the developments in India? How will you comment on the progress made by India in the first week of lockdown, and how do you assess the results so far? Thank you.
lockdowns and shutdowns are really should just be part of an overall comprehensive strategy. And what we need to be able to do as societies and with the leadership of an all-of-government approach is to be able to implement a consistent policy for a period of time and then see where that takes us and then measure and see what we need to do next. We need to be very careful not to knee-jerk. We need to be very careful not to be changing policies every single day.
The big focus tomorrow, of course, will be that early morning address the Prime Minister says he's recorded and will be presented before the nation at 9 a.m. Our political affairs editor Rahul Srivastav now joins us. Rahul, do we have any inkling at all about what the Prime Minister is likely to say in this third address after the lockdown was imposed?
Rahul, if you see that what the Prime Minister discussed with the Chief Minister, there are few elements which are indicating, and what sources are saying, that there is going to be a deeper appeal by the Prime Minister as far as the adherence to the lockdown is concerned. Because what the recent incidents have shown that there is a spike and it could spiral out. The other element is the Prime Minister during the interaction with the Chief Minister said that in several nations it is being observed and it is a possibility that there could be a second phase which could be much more intense. And perhaps preparing the nation in terms of the challenges, attempting to tell the people that there are certain measures being taken by the government to actually mitigate the prices they are facing. The Chief Ministers and the government are on the same page. These are perhaps the elements which the Prime Minister may tackle. He addressed an appeal even to religious leaders and groups to actually talk to their people, tell them lockdown is important. And as you just interviewed some people, doctors who were targeted in Indore and other places, perhaps an appeal could be there that these are the people who are the front line between life and death.
Rahul Srivastav, many thanks for joining us on the Newstrack tonight. I'm slipping into a very quick break. We will be tracking the Prime Minister's address tomorrow morning live here on India Today, dissecting it after he's spoken. But coming up on the other side, we have Maulana Mahmood Madni joining us. He runs the most powerful Islamic seminary in South Asia. He'll be talking about Maulana Saad, the cleric who runs the Tablighi Jamaat, who's now gone underground and missing. A big pan-India hunt still on for those who were in the Tablighi Jamaat meeting in Delhi and are now untraceable. In the midst of all of this, a lot of the spike that we are seeing in corona virus cases actually coming because of this big meeting. We'll get you the inside story of how the government worked with the Tablighi Jamaat to try and ensure that the Tablighi Jamaat fell in line. That and more when I come back with part B of the Newstrack tonight. Welcome back. You're with us on the Newstrack. Now, because of the Tablighi Jamaat, there's been a massive spike in the number of cases in Tamil Nadu. This is the tracker trajectory visualization which is going viral all across the world. I just want to explain to you what's happened. You see this red curve, this is Tamil Nadu here. It's gone, this is the curve which says that cases in a particular place are doubling every 2 days. Tamil Nadu suddenly has jumped up and is now the state which is showing the steepest incline when it comes to Corona-19 cases. This is Maharashtra. It's been growing rapidly, as is Kerala. But Tamil Nadu is the one new entrant and the curve is going up really steeply. And the reason that this is happening is because of the Tablighi Jamaat, where a lot of members went back to Tamil Nadu. That's led to a huge spiral, the sharpest incline at this moment in this India Today Data Intelligence Unit trajectory tracker is being seen in Tamil Nadu. That's where the biggest alarm bells are going off at this moment. Provided, of course, this continues, and let's see what happens beyond here. Now, Maulana Saad, who runs the Tablighi Jamaat, is still underground. There was big buzz that he would come out, do a press conference. He didn't do that. He put out an audio recording where he's saying the opposite of what I showed you on the Newstrack last night. On Newstrack last night, we pulled out old clips where he's saying, stay inside mosques, don't go back home, you'll be fine with Allah. Now he's saying, cooperate with the police, follow the quarantine, do not break the law. The question is, why have we still not arrested this man who very clearly is guilty of having landed India in a big mess by not following the advisories from state and central governments? Here's our story.
Tablighi Jamaat is the trigger for the latest spike in the coronavirus outbreak in India. By Thursday, over 520 of India's over 1,800 COVID-19 cases were found to have linked to the Islamic outfit. In a sweeping nationwide hunt, authorities identified over 9,000 people linked to the Nizamuddin Markaz, including 1,306 foreigners. Over 1,800 are quarantined and 334 hospitalized.
अब तक इन राज्यों से करीब 400 पॉजिटिव केसेस आइडेंटिफाई हो चुके हैं, जिनकी की एपिडेमियोलॉजिकल लिंकेज इस क्लस्टर से पाई जा चुकी है। नंबर और बढ़ता जा रहा है जैसे जैसे केसेस सैंपलिंग की रिपोर्ट आ रही है।
Now healthcare workers are rushing against time to contact trace those who attended the event in Delhi in order to stop the further spread of the contagion. This even as the cops have launched a manhunt against the Maulana.
कि मौलाना साहब के सिलसिले से जो खबरें उड़ाई जा रही हैं कि वो गायब हैं और चले गए हैं, अंडरग्राउंड हो गए हैं, सामने नहीं आ रहे हैं, ये बिल्कुल गलत बात है। ये बात इसी से खारिज हो जाती है। ये बात अपने आप में इसी से झूठी हो जाती है कि वो सेक्शन 91 CRPC का जो नोटिस है मौलाना साहब को प्राप्त हो चुका है, उसका जवाब वो बना रहे हैं।
The Maulana had asked the massive congregation to ignore coronavirus advisories and assemble at mosque.
मसला हल होने तक मस्जिद को छोड़ दो। सोचो तो सही, कैसी उल्टे दिमाग लोगों के। और हदीस में क्या है कि मसला हल होने तक मस्जिद को छोड़ना मत।
But as the news tightens around him, the Maulana, who is untraceable, issued a fresh audio message, appealing to his supporters to follow the lockdown orders and stay home.
एहतियात और तदाबीर का इख्तियार करना, जिसमें ख़ास तौर पर उलमाए हक़ की तरफ से जारी करदा हिदायत का अहतमाम करना है। नीज़ डॉक्टरों की हिदायत व इलाज का अहतमाम, हुकूमत व इंतज़ामिया का पूरा साथ देना, मसलन मजमा जमा न करना और इन हालात में हुकूमत और इंतज़ामिया की पूरी मदद करना ज़रूरी है। जहाँ जहाँ भी हमारी जमातें हैं वो वहाँ रहते हुए हुकूमत के क़वानीन की पाबंदी ज़रूर करें।
Prime Minister Modi too issued an appeal to religious leaders to help in the fight.
मेरा आग्रह है कि राज्य स्तर पर आप समाज के गणमान्य व्यक्तियों, सभी संप्रदायों के धर्मगुरुओं, उनकी मीटिंग बुलाकर उनसे आग्रह करें कि वो अपने अपने अनुयायियों को, अपने मतपथ के लोगों को, अपनी विचारधारा के लोगों को इस लड़ाई में भागीदार बनने के लिए, सहयोग करने के लिए समझाएं, उसका नेतृत्व करें।
Will the cleric of Corona pay heed? Bureau Report, India Today.
इस वक्त की हकीकत मौलाना मदनी ये है कि पुलिस तलाश रही है उन लोगों को जो कि तबलीग जमात की इस मीटिंग में शामिल थे, जो कहा जा रहा है कि देश में अलग अलग मस्जिदों में छिपे हुए हैं। वहाँ के जो मौलाना हैं उनको चिंता है कि अगर इनको बाहर लाए तो वो स्टिग्मेटाइज होंगे, टारगेट होंगे, विलेनाइज होंगे, इस वजह से उनको बाहर नहीं लाया जा रहा है। आपको पूरे साउथ एशिया में, दुनिया भर में लोग मानते हैं, जानते हैं, आपकी क्या सलाह है जो लोग मस्जिदों में छिपे हुए, जिनकी हो सकता है कि ऐसा कांटेक्ट बना हो
हमारी
लोगों से जिनको कोविड-19 के शिकार हैं, उनको क्या करना चाहिए?
हमारी सलाह ये है कि खुद से आगे बढ़कर के डॉक्टर से और मेडिकल ऑफिसर से, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन से कांटेक्ट करना चाहिए और ये कहना चाहिए कि हाँ हम भी गए थे वहां, आप हमारा चेकअप करना चाहें, हमें क्वारंटाइन करना चाहें, क्योंकि सवाल सिर्फ उनका भी नहीं है बल्कि उनके चहेतों का है। तो इसलिए इसमें कोऑपरेट भी करना चाहिए और गवर्नमेंट को भी रेस्पेक्टिव स्टेट्स जो हैं उनके ऑफिसर्स को, अधिकारियों को इसको ह्यूमन एंगल से देखना चाहिए।
आप जरा तफसील से बताइए कि अजीत डोभाल साहब की आपसे क्या बातचीत हुई, उन्होंने आपसे क्या आश्वासन मांगा, वो क्या चाहते थे, आपने क्या किया?
भाई वो नहीं, हमसे वो कुछ नहीं चाहते थे, हमसे वो ये चाहते थे कि भाई उन लोगों से एक मरतबा बातचीत करो कि प्रॉब्लम क्या है, क्यों नहीं इवैक्यूएशन हो रहा है। मैंने कहा बहुत अच्छी बात है, मैं फोन करके पूछता हूँ। मैंने पूछा किसी बंदे से, किसी और तीसरे बंदे से, उनसे डायरेक्ट नहीं मेरी बात हुई, किसी तीसरे बंदे से पूछा कि भाई प्रॉब्लम क्या है, क्यों नहीं इवैक्यूएशन हो रहा है। कहने लगे वो तो आज ही कुछ लोगों का इवैक्यूएशन हुआ है और जैसा बताएंगे वैसा इवैक्यूएट कर लिया जाएगा, हम तो पूरी तरह तैयार हैं। ये मैसेज मैंने उनको कन्वे कर दिया। उन्होंने कहा एक आदमी का नंबर दे दो, मैंने नंबर मांग करके उनको दे दिया। फिर उसके बाद उन्होंने उनसे सब बातचीत करी, जो उन्होंने चाहा एनएसए साहब ने वो उन लोगों ने किया है। तो इसको ये कहना कि बगावत कर रहे हैं, टेररिस्ट लिंक है और ये कर रहे हैं और मरवा रहे हैं और मरवाने के लिए ही लोगों को जमा किया था, देश में ये आफत लाना चाहते थे, फला फला, कैसी मतलब कैसे नॉनसेंस की बातें सारी मीडिया पे चल रही हैं। मैं सवाल करता हूं, जो काम एनएसए साहब ने किया वो काम दूसरे क्यों नहीं कर सकते थे? जो काम उन्होंने करवाया है ना
जी,
अब 20-22 घंटे के अंदर सारे काम करवा दिया। वो लोगों बसें लगवा दी, लोगों को निकलवाना शुरू किया, लोगों के क्वारंटाइन का अरेंजमेंट करवाने शुरू किए, ये एश्योर किया कि भाई आपके लोगों के साथ कोई बदतमीजी नहीं होगी, कोई गड़बड़ नहीं होगी, सारा कुछ उन्होंने अरेंज करवाया ना फिर बैठ के। तो ये अरेंजमेंट कोई दूसरा भी तो कर सकता था।
पर मौलाना साहब,
काम के लिए एनएसए साहब को क्यों आगे आना पड़ा?
डॉक्टर्स थे, डॉक्टर्स जा रहे थे ऐसे इलाकों में वहाँ पे देखने के लिए कि कोरोना वायरस का कोई शिकार आदमी है, कोई औरत है, उनके कोई सिम्टम्स हैं, उनको टेस्ट करने के लिए, और वहाँ पे कम्युनिटी ने बैकलैश किया, डॉक्टर्स को आने नहीं दिया। और कुछ तो डॉक्टर्स मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी के ही थे, वो बड़े नाराज़ थे, बड़े परेशान थे कि ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है। ये जो अफवाहों का बाजार गर्म है, जो आपने परसेप्शन की बात की, लोगों को लग रहा है कि उनको टारगेट किया जा रहा है, इस वजह से हेल्थ वर्कर्स और डॉक्टर्स को भगा रहे हैं अपने इलाकों से।
हाँ, और राहुल जी, मैं इस बारे में बहुत दो टूक एक बात कहना चाहता हूं कि ये जो हेल्थ वर्कर्स हैं हमारे इस वक्त, और जो लोग उनके साथ में काम कर रहे हैं, जो लॉ इन्फोर्सिंग एजेंसीज के लोग हैं, वो हमारे सबसे बड़े इस वक्त के वो हैं जिनका हमें सम्मान करना चाहिए, इज्जत करनी चाहिए। यही लोग तो हमारे इस वक्त मुहाफिजत का काम कर रहे हैं। बजाय इनसे नफरत करने के इन्हें मोहब्बत करनी चाहिए, इनको सम्मानित करना चाहिए। अजीब बात है, मतलब ऐसा माहौल बन गया है देश में कि एक जगह थोड़ी, ये 6-7 जगह ऐसे इंसिडेंट हुए हैं। तो अजीब, मतलब अफसोस होता है देख करके। तो मैं सबसे ही अपील करना चाहता हूं कि प्लीज एक तो अपने आप को वॉलंटियरली आगे लाएं। जो भी जिस तरह के ऐसे किसी कॉन्टेक्ट में आया हो, तो वो अगर टेस्ट में वो नेगेटिव निकल जाएगा तो उसको इत्मीनान हो जाएगा, एजेंसीज को भी इत्मीनान हो जाएगा, डॉक्टर्स को भी इत्मीनान हो जाएगा। और अगर कोई पॉजिटिव निकला तो इसका मतलब ये थोड़ी है कि वो मर ही जाएगा, उसका ठीक से क्वारंटाइन करके इलाज किया जाएगा, ज़्यादा 90% तो लोग बच ही रहे। तो मेरा कहना ये है कि इसको बहुत पॉजिटिवली लेना चाहिए। और मैं सब लोगों से, खुसूसन अपने लोगों से ये अपील करना चाहता हूँ, आपके इस टीवी चैनल के माध्यम से, ये जुर्म है, गुनाह है, कत्ल के बराबर है, कत्ल ही जैसा है अगर आप कोई भी सोशल डिस्टेंस को खत्म करते हैं और या इसको छुपाते हैं।
आखिर में मौलाना मदनी,
मेरा यही है कि भाई ये काम 28 को जो हुआ है वो 18 को क्यों नहीं हुआ।
आखिर में मौलाना मदनी मुझे ये बताइए कि इस
राहुल जी,
टेंशन है थोड़ी सी, एक तरीके से रिएक्शन है, उसका काउंटर रिएक्शन है, और काफ़ी उसको लेके तनातनी है। आपको बहुत लोग मानते हैं, आपका क्या मैसेज है अपने समाज को भी, आपको जो लोग मानते हैं और जो शक की निगाह से देख रहे हैं उनको भी, आप आखिर में क्या मैसेज देना चाहते हैं मौलाना मदनी?
मैं सबसे पहले कहना चाहता हूं, ये देश हम सबका है और इस लड़ाई में हम सबको मिल के लड़ना है, अलग अलग नहीं लड़ना है। हम ना अलग थे, ना अलग हैं, और ना कोई हमें अलग कर सकता है। हमारे इस देश में लाखों मस्जिदें हैं जिन्होंने गवर्नमेंट के रूल्स को फॉलो किया है। 1-2 मस्जिद भी मुश्किल से ऐसी मिलेंगी जिन्होंने थोड़ा सा लापरवाही बरती होगी। पूरे लाखों में, यानी 10 लाख मस्जिदें हैं पूरे देश में। तो मुसलमान इस मुल्क के साथ था, है और रहेगा इंशाअल्लाह।
One of the fears every person watching this broadcast would have hidden somewhere deep within is what happens if I get inflicted with the coronavirus, and worse still, what happens if I get a serious bout of the coronavirus. What I want to show you now is the story of a young Indian techie who is based in the United States, who had to go on a ventilator at Just Lok Hospital. He's not a smoker, he's very young, has a young family. His young family also managed to contact the infection, Fortunately, he's now doing well. But to ensure that there is no stigma, we're keeping his identity secret, but we still want to tell his story. So here is the story of a young Indian techie from the United States who went on a ventilator, was there for quite a while, and he now recounts his harrowing experience and how he bounced back on his feet.
Novel coronavirus is not invincible.
I'm here with...
This 37-year-old was one of the youngest patients who was put on ventilator. His condition deteriorated rapidly in a matter of days. But this techie fought hard and has lived to tell his tale.
I got positive and then I admitted to Kasturba. Even though my treatment was going well there, but my health got deteriorated and I was having a respiratory problem. Then the Kasturba doctors and Jaslok doctors decided mutually and then informed that I have to be transferred to Jaslok, and then Jaslok Hospital and the infectious department took care of my life. That they gave me a second birth, I can say, because I was on 20th of March when I came over here. I was kind of having no hopes of further life.
The survivor describes that the fight against the virus was the most difficult time of his life because it wasn't just him. His 3-year-old daughter and his wife also tested positive for COVID-19.
So it was very difficult time for me because there was a kind of fear of this virus within everywhere in the world, and I got tested positive, and 2 of my family members. Out of that one, like my 3.5-year-old daughter was positive, so it was scary for us.
The techie's family, fortunately, has also made full recovery. His daughter and wife are doing just fine. The doctor who treated him says there's no need to panic about COVID-19.
एक मरीज उनको हमने भर्ती किया था जसलोक हॉस्पिटल में और वो उस समय वेंटिलेटर पे थे। इस हालात में भी कोरोना वायरस का इलाज हो सकता है और अगर जो ये हालात हो भी रहे हैं तो भी आपको चिंता करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है।
At a time when there's so much that is spoken about coronavirus, it's important to highlight time and again that most patients make a full recovery. Take this 24-year-old for example, another coronavirus survivor.
Yeah, it was fully glass covered and they have each and every equipment over there, and doctor always used to wear that clothes, full body clothes, and they always they told us to wear mask. Not all the time when they used to visit us, they used to say wear mask, and even all it's a attached bathroom and it's good. I think the room was good.
The mortality rate of coronavirus in India is around 3%, which means that while COVID-19 spreads rapidly, a person who is diagnosed with the virus is most likely to make a full recovery. With Saurabh Bakhtania in Mumbai and Indrajit Kundu in Kolkata, Bureau Report, India Today.
During the lockdown, one of the things that's happened is that television viewership has shot through the roof, especially news television viewership, which is up almost 300%. I want to take you through what the television universe looks like at this moment. Now, GC entertainment channels are actually down. Their overall share in the television pie was 52% before the coronavirus lockdown. It's now down to 39%. The viewership seems to be going towards movies, which are up from 23 to 26%. But the biggest jump in audience television habits has been in news, which is up from 7% of the overall universe to 21% of the overall television universe. That is phenomenal. It's never been seen in India's history before this. Kids are at home. They're watching consistently, 7% before coronavirus and 7% even now. So that stays where it was. One of the big gainers in this big jump has been India Today television, This is India's mega cities, the big metropolitans. Here, India today is leading the pack, ahead of everyone in the competitive space, and that's quite important because this is a time when people have been looking out for credible news and they're finding it here on your favorite television channel. In fact, if you look at the All India numbers, this is for the days after the lockdown was announced. Here again, this is All India, India Today Television leading the pack well ahead of competition. What I want to do right now is go across to Sunil Lulla. Sunil Lulla is the Chief Executive Officer of BARC. BARC is India's premier television rating agency. These are the kind of trends that have never ever been seen in India's history. Sunil, welcome. A 300% increase in the news universe. Now people are at home and it's very clear from your data this week that they're lapping up a lot of television news.
So let's get some stats out of the way. 1.20 trillion minutes, highest ever TV viewing, 1.20 trillion minutes. Average daily viewers grew by 62 million. 622 million TV viewers who are watching television daily watch for 4 hours and 40 minutes. There is growth across all parameters. Weekly viewing has gone up by 37%. Average daily viewing moved from 3 hours 46 minutes to 4 hours 39 minutes. That's 23% more. More people are now watching TV 7 days a week. That went up from an average of 32% in January to 44% under recent times. In January, an average home was watching 16 channels in a week. They are now watching 22 channels a week. The big record, of course, goes to news as a category. 300% growth of news, 56% growth of movies, 46% growth in kids. Huge growth in non-prime time, right, which is when the home is all together. So what does this mean in one single line? Television is and will always be the screen of the home that engages everybody equally. It's not just content that's being viewed, it's advertising too which is being viewed. And up till the end of March, we saw a surge in advertising too. The big one, of course, this week has been the return of the classic, which is Ramayana, made in 1986 and watched by more than 50 million people, even on Sunday when it premiered. 51 million people watched Ramayana.
Would have thought you bring the Ramayana back and even this generation's plugging in a manner that's more than any other thing on television. Now the one thing is, and possibly because GEC channels are rerunning old content, that viewership is down. It's news which is the biggest winner because there's so much happening and it's all live. And Sunil, there I see a lot of that benefit seems to have come to the India Today group. India Today Television in the mega cities, emerging as the #1 channel. During the lockdown, nationally India Today Television is #1, and Aaj Tak, our Hindi channel, is India's most watched television channel per se, way more than any GEC, and that for a news channel is phenomenal.
Well, I'm sure there's some amount of triumph or celebration maybe going on at Aaj Tak. It's the #1 channel. It has overtaken the GEC channels in this week. It has phenomenal viewing, and that talks about credibility and trust that you enjoy with consumers and with viewers.
The other thing that I'm noticing in your data, Sunil, is news consumption on digital platforms. On the smartphone, that's skyrocketed as well. So very clearly, when they're not watching news on TV, people are sitting on their smartphones, on their laptops, and consuming a lot of television news digitally.
So, I think television is significantly larger than digital. The growth in TV has been significantly higher than the growth in television, because one phenomenon we have observed in the home is while digital has grown, it's grown a lot for news apps. So I guess there's a lot of search going on for news and information, and people are constantly looking to see if there's an update, if there's something that can reassure them, or they can get some fact or data about any area they're concerned with. I've also seen in digital there's a huge growth in gaming amongst young audiences, 15 to 24. So that is because they are discovering new games, new things to do over there. Apart of news and gaming, there's YouTube content that is usually watched, but the growth in TV is significantly more than the growth in digital. So when the household is together, they are watching that content together, they are watching TV together.
You know, we are thankful to our viewers for the trust that they've shown in our network, and it is our commitment to ensure that we stick with the facts, are as objective as we can be. We're working in a very stretched fashion with 1/3 the staff that we ordinarily have, and it's very clear that credibility matters, content matters, which is why people are tuning in the way that they are. We deeply appreciate your commitment to watching our channels, and we hope that we can keep it like that. Sunil Lulla, for joining me tonight, thank you very much. I end Newstrack tonight, as I have this week, with pictures of policemen in interesting avatars trying to enforce the lockdown. These pictures are from Andhra Pradesh, where you've got a cop dressed as Yamraj. He's out on the roads, catching the demon, getting hold of him, showing him his place, and putting him away. That's the cop as Yamraj, the all-powerful Yamraj. Thank you very much for tuning into the Newstrack tonight. Let's see what the Prime Minister says tomorrow morning. Our entire team will be tracking that with News Today. Goodbye. Good night. Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kanwal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.